Hello everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back. Hope you've had a wonderful week and ready for another week ahead. So, it's been a while, it's been a few days, but I'm back now, sorted out all the family things I went to sort out. So here we go again, and today I'm going to show you, as promised, how I do my cutting, or measuring anyway, for my base cards, or card bases, and mats and layers. So we're going to make a card similar to this, only a different size, and it'll be a different season. So we've got a white card base like that. Then I've done a mat, which is the same size as the card base. Then we've got a couple of other mats that are a little bit smaller. And to show you how effective this can be when we do it in different sizes, this one is a 5x7, but the one we're going to make today is going to be a 6x6, and it's going to be a Christmas card. So let's get started. I'm going to slide that to one side, and I'm going to start with a piece of A3 card, and I'm going to just fold it in half to begin with. So we're just going to fold it until the corners meet. Just line up the top or the bottom. I usually line up the top corners first. Press along there like that, and just give it a press like that. You don't have to be too precise. Well, you have to be precise, but you don't have to press too hard, says she, wearing the fibres away. And I'm not going to put any rulers on this. I'm not going to put any pencils on this, because when I finish my cards, I don't like seeing pencil marks. I know, I'm a fussy so-and-so. So what I'm going to do, now we've got it folded, I'm going to put the folded edge at the top. And it doesn't matter whether we have the fold at the top or the side ultimately when we make our card. This one I might have the fold at the top, or I might do it the other way around. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to put the folded edge at the top of our card like that, and we're going to take our scoring tool, and we are going to score at 6 inches straight down along the long side 2 or 3 times. So we've got a nice deep rut, and then we're going to turn it around like, now I don't remember which side was the 6 inches there. So that's that side. So we're going to keep it this side and spin it round. In fact, we're going to spin it round this way. Take that 6 inches again, that fold line, that score line, that's already up to there. And we're going to find, which we can't actually find, we're going to slide it down there. That'll be the easiest way of doing it. Now, because we want on this side, take your scoring tool, put it in the 6-inch track and drag straight down like that. Oops. And try not to let it go off. So hold it in place like that, put it in the 6-inch track and drag straight down like that. So about 3 times should do it, nice and firm. You can press as hard as you like, because at this stage, if you tear it, it doesn't matter too much. Then what we're going to do, you can use scissors, you can use a paper trimmer, you can use a craft knife. I'm going to use scissors because that's what I've got on my table. And we're just going to cut along those lines like that. So you can see, hopefully you can see the lines where we've scored. And we're just going to cut along those lines, or trim, whichever way you want to do it. So again, I'm going to use my scissors to find that line, that score line. Find my 6x6 piece. Is it that one? It is. Right, so we'll put that one to one side, and we have our card base already. So that was easy, wasn't it? Now, I'm going to make a mat which is the same size. So I'm just going to slide my card base out of the way for a moment. In fact, I'll put it up there. And I'm going to have a silver base, and I'm going to use a mirror card. And again, I'm going to score at 6 inches. Now try to be a bit more gentle if you're going to use mirror card, because you can tear the surface if you score it too vigorously, as I've done a little bit there, but it doesn't matter. And then turn it round again, or turn it round, find the 6-inch track again, and come straight down like that. So we're just going to score, bring the tip of your scoring tool up and come down like that. If you haven't got a scoring tool, if you haven't got a bone file, use anything you've got. Use the end of a teaspoon or something like that. Or you could even use, if you haven't got, I'm looking to see if I can find it quickly for you. You could even use a pencil, a lead pencil if you haven't got a scoring tool, and just come down like that. It won't show because we're going to cut that in a minute. And my fingerprints that I've just made all over there won't show either. So once again, we're going to take our scissors or our trimmer or our craft knife, and we're going to cut along those score lines, and it'll be easier to see this time. So I'm just going to trim this bit off, and all these bits that fall off we are going to save. Not for this card, we won't be using them on this card, but we can use them because there's plenty of it. We can use it on another project. So we're going to put this together as we go. I think we're going to keep it with a side folding card this time. Sometimes if I'm doing a 6x6, I will occasionally do a top folding, but I think we'll keep it. Do you know what? I was going to do this with tape, but just to be a bit quicker, I'm going to use glue. Whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. So if that does that again, I might have to get another glue stick. This is my orange glue stick. So just to make it a little bit quicker, and I want this to be flat anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't need any dimension here. I don't need it to be thick or anything like that. You really shouldn't do this on your scoring board, but never mind. It's only glue, it'll come off. So we're going to give that a good coating of glue, like that. Pop that down like that. If it falls on the floor, it doesn't matter, because we probably won't want it again, but you never know. And I'm going to lay that over my card base. And of course, if you use glue rather than tape, you've got a bit of time to get it in position. So push that down like that, and if, like me, you find you've got a bit of overhang, that's no problem. I know sometimes in an ideal world you shouldn't have any overhang, but sometimes you do. Just chop it off, no problem at all. And so now we're going to make our first mat. And again, I'm just going to take this off because I probably will use tape for the next one. So we're going to slide that to the side once more, and I'm going to bring in my second mat. But I don't want it to be the same size. I want this one to be a little bit smaller. So the first mat was a 6x6. So this time I'm going to do 5 3/4. So I'm going to miss one of the notches here. We can see these notches along here. Let me just stand up for a second. Yeah, you can see those notches. So I'm going to miss the next one and go into the 5 3/4. And again, I'm going to score down that track there, that 5 3/4 track there. Then I'm going to turn it round like that, and I'm going to score down the 5 3/4 track that way, like that. So nice and deep so that we can see what we're doing. And again, I'm going to take my scissors, if I can see my score lines, cut down those folds like that. So we're going to put this is a card where we put it together from scratch together on video. I don't think we've ever done that before, but we're going to do it today. So is it that one? No, it's not that one. So it must be, yes, it's that one. So just, if you're not quite sure which one it is, just take your pieces and measure them against your scoreboard. And so once again, make sure we've got it the right way round. So I'm going to bring that back. So we've got two sides to this, it's double-sided, but I'm going to use that side. So I'm going to turn it over for a second. And this time, I am going to use double-sided tape because glue, especially glue stick, doesn't often stick very well. Sometimes glue won't stick to mirror card. So I think you're probably best to use tape anyway. So we'll get this done like this, reasonably fast. So this is where we say, as we've said, we're going to put this card together from scratch. So we're going to take the backing tape off. And I'm not at all worried if the backing tape falls on the floor because it's only rubbish. Or waste. Well, actually, some people do keep their backing tape. They use it for packaging, apparently. With their packaging parcels, they use it and keep it for packaging. I hadn't thought of that. It's not a bad idea, but I won't be doing that today. And this isn't particularly directional. So there's no particular direction for this paper. So I'm just going to layer it up so that we've got that lovely border. So we'll just lay that down like that. And we've got that lovely silver border around there, and we're starting to build it up quite nicely. So I will just get rid of some of this backing tape because it is rather messy. And again, I'm going to slide it across, and I'm sure you've got the idea by now. We're going to do one more mat, and this time we're going to do 5.5 by 5.5. So we're coming down by 1/4 of an inch each time. I don't go in for 1/8 and things like that. When people start, I've seen these other videos and they've all been fantastic. The results have been fantastic, but sometimes I've watched videos and they say, oh, score at 5 6/8. So I thought, oh, I can't be bothered to do that. So if I like the idea, but I can't be bothered with all those fractional scorings, I just make my own, I just find my own way of doing it, even if I have to resize it. But this is just my way of doing things. So again, we're going to take our scissors. We're going to cut along those score lines, nice and quickly, like that. And there's plenty of paper there, so I'm going to keep that back. And this time, again, actually we don't need the scoreboard anymore. So I'm going to pop that on there, sorry about the bang folks, and I'm going to slide the board out the way so I've got more room to play, work. And we're going to bring our card back like that. All right, the sun is pouring through the window and I can't actually see my screen. So I was just standing up to make sure that you can still see what I'm doing. And on the back, okay, I know this is beautiful, we could have used that, but I'm not going to use that today. I could have done, and that would have been a perfectly acceptable card on its own. Although I am tempted, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with what I originally planned. Might do that another time, but this time I'm going to use a bit of foam tape. I know it seems almost a crime to cover that up, but I have got another piece like this, so perhaps on another video I will use that again. And I'm going to use some foam tape very quickly, just to prop that up, because this time I do want it popped up just a little bit. So we're going to slide off that like that, and we're going to turn it over, and once again we are going to line it up so that you've got that little border. Now I'll give you another tip. If you want a bit more time with your tape, you see what I'm doing, you can put a little bit of glue stick over your tape. It won't add to the stickiness, neither will it take it away, but it will give you some time to slide it into place. If you don't quite get it where you want it the first time, it will give you a bit of time to slide it into place. So there's a bit of a tip for you. So let's just bring that back. So I'm going to try and leave that lovely little border, and you can slide it like that. So you won't get much of a border, but just a tiny border. You don't need a big one. So there we go, we've got almost, our card is almost done. And from the same pack, I've got another one that just says warm wishes. And on the back of here, I have got some foam tape, which I'm going to take off. And I'm going to place in the middle of my card like that. Make sure we're still the right way round. And that, because of all those layers, that is very strong and it'll stand up beautifully, even though the base card was relatively thin. So there you go, folks. There is my way of measuring and cutting my card bases and my mats using my scoreboard. So I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you found it useful, and that you have a go yourself if you've not thought of measuring and cutting that way before. Now, this is quite a simple card. Even for me, it's quite simple. I'm usually much more elaborate than that. We could have put some holly or something like that, but I quite like the simplicity of that card. I think the papers lend themselves to a really beautiful, simple card. So we're going to leave it like that. I'm not even going to add anything afterwards. I'm going to leave that card like that because I like it. I like the simplicity. Bit different for me, I know, folks, but there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, and if you're enjoying these videos, please do give me a thumbs up. Add any comments you'd like to below. If you'd like to see any other demonstrations, let me know and I'll do my best to oblige. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and you'll never miss another video. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have fun, everybody. Take care, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.